Boys, we finally made it. UFC 306 this Saturday, and I'm not gonna lie. Okay, this card is getting a little bit more hate than what it really needs. Yes, it's not what we all dreamt it was gonna be. We all thought this was gonna be one of the best cards, rivaling UFC 300. That's just simply not the case. But hopefully we can see what it looks like at the Sphere. Hopefully the Sphere itself is what's gonna make up for it. But for the fights themselves, yes, they're not as stacked as what we wanted them to be. But regardless, there's some pretty good fights on this card. I would say there's maybe 1 to 2 like sleepers here that I don't really care about, which it's even hard to pick 2 of them, but they're all going to be fun, entertaining fights. I think majority of these are going to be finishes. We only got 10 fights on this card though, so let's start off with the prelims, bantamweight division. Opening up the Sphere card, we got Mr. Chiwiwi himself opening up this card. Damn, I literally almost died there, but opening up the card, Raúl Rosas Jr. taking on Aori Qileng. Now, Raúl Rosas Jr. 9-1. He's going to have that height advantage. He has 2 KO wins, 6 submission wins, and 1 decision win. His only loss was a decision loss back when he gassed out a few fights ago. He's currently on a 2-fight winning streak. He's pretty much like a non-stop grappler. He has okay striking. I'm not going to be too mean to Mr. Chiwiwi, but his striking's okay. His striking is definitely his weakest out of his whole arsenal. He has okay cardio, you know, he does gas kind of fast here. I think he's going to be the faster, the stronger guy, but the only thing that I'm kind of worried about is he's a slow starter. He has shown to lose that first round here and there in a couple of fights. Aori Qileng, on the other hand, 25-10. He's going to have a reach advantage. He has 8 KO wins, 1 submission wins, and 16 decision wins. He's pretty much a big decision merchant right now. He's lost by KO once, submission 3 times, and he lost by decision 3 times. This guy loves to go to the decision. He's pretty well rounded, but definitely more of a striker than anything else. In my opinion, the only way for Aori Qileng to win this fight is if he catches Raúl Rosas Jr. in the first round. Because like I said, Mr. Chiwiwi does have a pretty big hole in his game where the first round is typically his worst round. So if anything, I could see him losing the first round. I could see him either getting caught and submitted, KO'd in the first round, or what I think is going to happen personally, Chiwiwi, I think he's a stronger guy. He's going to be getting better and better in each fight because he's so young. Best believe the last time we saw him is going to be completely different than what we see him now. He's constantly going to be evolving because he's only, I believe, like 20 years old. I think he will eventually be able to get this on the ground. I think it's going to be a close first round. I'm not going to lie. I think it's going to be a very first close round. And to be honest, I think Raúl Rosas Jr. is going to lose the first round. I think he still has that hole in his game where he needs to address. But going into round 2, I think he's going to find a submission. I'm going to say late round 2 submission for Raúl Rosas Jr. Let's go down to that flyweight division. Just recently added Edgar Chairez taking on Joshua Van. Now, this is a very concerning fight for me because Joshua Van, let's start with Edgar first. He's 11-5. He does have the reach and height advantage. He has 4 KO wins, 7 submission wins, and 0 decision wins. He's lost by submission twice and decision 3 times. He does have a good chin, but he does seem to get hit a lot in his fights, and he's pretty big for this division. I'm not gonna lie, he has good power. But Joshua Van, on the other hand, 10-2. He has 6 KO wins, 2 submission wins, and 2 decision wins. He's lost by KO and submission once, coming off that KO loss over Charles Johnson back in July. Literally will be back in the octagon 2 months after being knocked out pretty brutally in that fight, where honestly, it didn't look like he had any success. In my opinion, he lost round 1 and 2 and then got KO'd in round 3. So it was a huge hype derailment, I'm not gonna lie. But overall, he is the more well-rounded fighter. He's gonna be the faster guy. He has good takedown defense. Overall, skill for skill, I think Joshua Van should win this. But the only thing that's concerning, it's gonna be 2 months since he was like flatlined against Charles Johnson. But my thinking here is Joshua Van, he's only 22 years old. I'm hoping, because he's so young, he'll be able to recover so fast where it feels like he's ready enough to be in this spot. I'm picking Joshua Van, but I have no confidence in him actually winning this fight. Coming back only 2 months after getting starched out, not a good look. But give me Joshua Van. I think he's going to be more timid than he usually is. He's going to be scared to get hit. I don't think he's going to finish Edgar. I think it's going to be a decision win. Give me 29-28, Joshua Van. The only concerning part is his chin gone now? Let's go down to the women's strawweight division. Yazmin Jauregui, I think that's how you say her name, taking on Ketlen Souza. Now, Yazmin 11-1. She's gonna have a small reach advantage, nothing huge. She does have 7 KO wins, 0 submission wins, and 4 decision wins. She's only lost by KO to Dennis Gomez a few fights ago. She's coming off a decision win to Sam Hughes in her last fight, which is pretty good because we have seen Sam Hughes as of recently just constantly back to back just take out these up and coming prospects in this women's strawweight division. So the fact that Yazmin was able to actually beat her by decision, I think that says a lot about Yazmin. She's a good striker. She does have that killer instinct where if she does hurt Ketlen Souza, best believe she's going to go out there and try to finish her on the feet. Where Ketlen Souza, on the other hand, she's 14-4. She does have an even height with Yazmin. She has 8 KO wins, 1 submission wins, and 5 decision wins. She's lost by KO twice, submission twice, and never by decision. Currently, she's 1-1 in the UFC. In my opinion, she's a stronger, has more power, and a very sloppy striker. The only way I can see Ketlen winning here is by a very sloppy, lucky overhand where it just catches Yazmin perfectly and knocks her out. But other than that, I think Yazmin is all around better than Souza, except for the only thing she's lacking is that power, because like I said, Souza does have some pretty good power for this division. But I think Yazmin's gonna hand Ketlen Souza her very first decision loss. Give me 29-28, maybe even 30-27 for Yazmin. Let's go down to that lightweight division. This is a very even fight. I'm not gonna lie, it was hard for me to pick. Manuel Torres taking on Ignacio Bahamondes. Now, like I said, like a 50-50 level fight. Manuel 15-2. He has wins by KO 7 times, submission 7 times, and decision 4 times. He's only lost by sub outside the UFC. He's currently 3-0 in the UFC, all by finishes. A very good and well-rounded striker with a pretty decent ground game. It's nothing amazing, but it's a pretty decent ground game. He's pretty well-rounded. He has good knees, good leg kicks, good calf kicks. Be on the lookout for those in the fight because I guarantee the calf kicks are going to be very important. Round is a very good, diverse set of strikes for his striking game. Going down to Ignacio Bahamondes, 15-5. He has that height and reach advantage. He has 10 KO wins, 1 submission wins, and 4 decision wins. He has lost by submission twice and decision 3 times. He's currently 4-6 in the UFC, only losing 2 times. He has good volume, decent striking defense. He likes to use his range with his kicks, his straights. He's very good at using his reach in his fights. The biggest hole in his game, in my opinion, is his takedown defense. Not the greatest takedown defense, but I think he's gonna have good enough footwork in this fight where I don't think he's gonna be taken down that much. I think he's gonna use his reach to keep Manuel Torres at bay throughout the fight. I don't think he's going to knock out Manuel Torres. I don't think he's going to clean sweep Manuel Torres. I think it's going to be a 29-28 split decision for Ignacio Bahamondes, being one of the more fun, competitive fights on this whole card. Like I said, this is like a 50-50 type of fight. I'm slightly going to go with Bahamondes just because, you know, the whole theme of this fight card is Mexican. He is a Mexican fighter. I'm going with Ignacio Bahamondes by a split decision. Let's go into the main event of this prelims, the women's bantamweight division. Number 5 ranked Irene Aldana taking on number 9 Norma Dumont. Aldana 15-7. She has that height and reach advantage. She has 8 KO wins, 3 submission wins, and 4 decision wins. She has lost by KO twice and decision 5 times. She's a good, technical, and very powerful boxer, and she's pretty big and strong for this division. But ever since she shit the bed against Nunes, it's hard for me to ever be like, yeah, she's going to be the next up-and-coming challenger for that belt, because after that, it was hard to watch that. She was, in my opinion, she was going to be like the girl to defeat Amanda Nunes. She had everything going for her, but she just shit the bed. It's hard to pick someone who is so unreliable in these big situations. Having her being here in the sphere, a lot of pressure against her. I don't know if I can pick her going against Norma Dumont. Norma Dumont, 11-2. She has 0 KO wins, 2 submission wins, and 4 decision wins. She has lost by KO once and decision once, but currently on a 5-fight winning streak, all of them by decision. She is a good technical striker with good striking defenses. She has okay takedowns, but her takedown defense is definitely the worst part of her game. She's pretty big for this division, just like Aldana, but if she can get Irene Aldana to the ground, I think she can win this fight. But this is another very close 50-50 type of matchup, and it depends which Irene Aldana shows up. If it's the one that shit the bed against Amanda Nunes, I'm picking Norma Dumont to win this by a pretty dominant decision win. But if Aldana shows up how she should show up, how she should have shown up against Amanda Nunes, I could see her actually putting down and finishing Norma Dumont. But I can't pick someone who's so unreliable in these big situations. I'm going Norma Dumont by decision. Let's go down to this main card now, flyweight division. Ronaldo Rodriguez taking on Ode Osbourne. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm picking Ode Osbourne. Before that, Ronaldo 17-2. He has 7 KO wins, 5 submission wins, and 3 decision wins. He's only lost by decision, but all of those were outside the UFC. He's currently on a 6-fight winning streak, but it's not as impressive as what you think it is. He only has 1 fight in the UFC, which he did win. He has good power. He can be a little bit too patient at times, and what I found is this boy's a little bit slow for this flyweight division. He has pretty bad reactions because of how slow he is, but he does have the advantage on the ground in my opinion, because Ode Osbourne, we have seen time and time again, struggle very much on the ground. Ode Osbourne 12-7 right now. He has a height and reach advantage. He has 5 KO wins, 4 submission wins, and 3 decision wins. He's lost by KO 2 times, submission 4 times, and decision once. Currently on a 2-fight losing streak, both in by sub. Like I said, a big hole in his game is that ground game. So if Rodriguez can get to the ground, I think he will win, but I don't think he's going to get him to the ground. But the one thing, I think I'm regretting picking Ode Osbourne because I just remembered he also got TKO'd/KO'd against Tyson Nam, and Tyson Nam is trash. And if you're getting KO'd by Tyson Nam, what does that say about you? It's hard to pick Ode Osbourne, but I think I'm still going to pick Ode Osbourne. He's good at using his range. He's a good striker. He's way faster than Rodriguez. He does have a huge advantage on the feet. It's a win or get cut situation for Ode Osbourne right now. Everyone is hating on him for being on this main card. I think that's going to put a big chip on his shoulder. I think he's going to come out here and shut everyone up. Now, this could be one of my worst predictions ever, but I think Ode is knocking out Rodriguez in the second round, to be honest. I think Rodriguez is going to spend a lot of time trying to take Ode Osbourne down. I don't think he's going to be able to keep Ode Osbourne down. I don't think he's going to be able to get him down regardless. If it does, I just don't think Rodriguez has that skill to take down Ode Osbourne. He's primarily a striker, and if it's on the feet, I think Ode Osbourne's better. Round 2, TKO, KO in Ode Osbourne. Lock that in. Let's go down to that lightweight division. Daniel Zellhuber taking on Esteban Ribovics. Now, Daniel 15-1. He has a height and reach advantage. He has 7 KO wins, 3 submission wins, and 5 decision wins. He's only lost by decision to Trey Ogden in his UFC debut. After that, he went on a 3-fight winning streak. He's a good, aggressive striker. He has a good chin as well, but doesn't do the greatest on the back foot. He kind of struggles with aggressive fighters, I'm not gonna lie. But as we've seen him fight, he's been getting better and better every single time. Again, a very close fight here. I think it's a 60-40 type of fight. But Esteban, on the other hand, 13-1. He has 7 KO wins, 5 submission wins, and 1 decision win. Same thing with Esteban. His only loss was to his UFC debut, and he's now back on a 2-fight winning streak. He has good power, and keyword, he's a very aggressive striker and very well-rounded. This is why I think it's such a coin flip of a fight. I do think Zellhuber is going to win this fight, but like I said, it's very close, 60-40 type of fight. I just think Zellhuber is overall just better. Plus, like I said, Mexican themed card. He's Mexican. Give me a 29-28 decision win for Daniel Zellhuber. Let's go down to that featherweight division. These last 3 ones, I'm kind of going to speed run these ones because I think I cracked the code. Because I already know who's going to win these ones. Number 3 ranked Brian Ortega taking on number 12th ranked Diego Lopes. This shit was already supposed to happen. Everyone is jumping off the Diego Lopes train, and that's mainly because of how he looked against Dan Ige, where he lost that 3rd round. But what everyone is forgetting is they were cutting down to 145. Diego Lopes pretty much already made 145, and then Brian Ortega couldn't make that weight, so they brought it back up to 155. Diego Lopes had to rehydrate, had to change his whole diet to get back up to 155. He went up to 155, made 155. Then Brian Ortega had to pull out. Okay. Then he's rehydrating at this point. Dan Ige steps up. I guarantee when he rehydrated, he was way past 155, 165. He was probably close to that 180 mark. I guarantee that. He had to make weight and cut down back to 165. He had to cut weight pretty much back to back if you really think about it. That's, in my opinion, why he didn't look the greatest, especially in that 3rd round to Dan Ige. But regardless, my original prediction hasn't changed on this fight. I think the ground game is going to cancel each other out. I think the takedown and takedown defenses of both the guys are going to cancel each other out. I think it's going to be mainly a striking battle. And I think Diego Lopes beats him in a striking battle. I think Diego Lopes is going to KO Brian Ortega. Do I think it's going to be early? I could see it being early, but give me Diego Diego Lopes round 2 TKO over Brian Ortega. Let's go into this co-main event now. Alexa Grasso, Valentina Shevchenko. I'm going with and still with Alexa Grasso, mainly because it's so hard for the champion to ever get their belt back. And not only that, we have seen that the dominance, the skill level of Valentina Shevchenko has been closing and closing pretty quickly ever since the Lauren Murphy fight back in 2021. Since then, she had a super like razor close fight, split decision win to Tyla Santos. And I'm not gonna lie, since that fight, I was like, okay, 1 to 2 more fights until Valentina loses her belt. Did I think it was going to be Grasso to take the belt from her? No, I didn't originally think that. But regardless, she lost to Alexa Grasso. Then you can say what you want about the draw, the rematch. It is what it is. It ended up being a draw. And remember this, it was on a Mexican themed card too. That's why Valentina didn't want to fight at the Sphere. She didn't want to fight on another Mexican themed card because she thought it was rigged against her, which I'm not gonna lie, I could see that shit happening again. I think Alexa Grasso is gonna be better than Valentina Shevchenko. I think Shevchenko, she's getting older. The skill level just going down and down. Unfortunately, she's just not progressing. If anything, she's regressing, where Alexa Grasso still in her prime, she's gonna be progressing. I think we're gonna see Alexa Grasso win 4, maybe even every single round. I'm not gonna lie. I just think Alexa Grasso at this point in time is overall better than Valentina Shevchenko. Plus, Mexican themed card. Who do you think the UFC wants to win regardless? Give me Alexa Grasso by a unanimous decision. 4-1 or 5-0. That's what I'm predicting. Let's go down. Bantamweight division. Also in this fight, it's going to completely shut down any talk of rematches anytime soon. I think this is going to be very similar to the Volkanovski versus Max Holloway third fight, to be honest. Let's go down to that Bantamweight division. Sean O'Malley, Merab Dvalishvili. Mark my words, Sean O'Malley is putting down Merab Dvalishvili badly. It's going to be one of the most devastating championship level KOs this year. Mark my words. Do I think it's going to be round 1? Not necessarily. I'm seeing round 2. I think it's going to be very similar to how Sean O'Malley won the belt, but I think it's just going to be way more devastating. Round 1, I could see Merab taking down Sean O'Malley 2, maybe 3 times. I don't think he's going to get the first takedown. I think Sean is actually going to stuff the first takedown, but we've seen Merab time and time again repeatedly go for takedowns. I think that's going to happen. Give me Sean O'Malley, round 2, flatline KO. And yeah, we've been here for a hot minute. Thank you guys for watching to the end of the video. If you guys have not yet, leave a like on this video and subscribe with those post notifications turned on so you never miss any of my newest videos. You guys have to let me know in the comments below. On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you guys think of this Fear card? Also, be on the lookout for the rare locks of UFC 306. I'm probably going to be posting that around Wednesday to Thursday, I'm going to say. So be on the lookout for those. And yeah, we've been talking for a hot minute now. With that being said, boys, there's really not that much else left to say except for I will see you guys in my next video.